All right, here in the finals, we have the choice. We're going to play first, and let's see here. Well, pretty powerful cards in here. We don't have a white mana, which could be a problem, but we do have Morph. I think I'm going to keep it. I think the main reason I'm keeping is I do have a Morph guy, so any land will do. I'm running 18 lands, so having a spell-heavy land light hand typically is okay. I mean, I have close to a 50% chance of drawing a land each turn, and that only increases as the turns go on. Other than that, it's a pretty mediocre hand otherwise, but it helps that our cheap 2-drop spells are also green. So next turn's an important one since it determines whether we can play a turn 3 morph or not. Alright, well, not quite the way I wanted it to go down, but not the end of the world yet. Alright, so up against a Jeskai deck of some sort. Hopefully it'll land here. There we go. And the perfect land at that. So now I think we drop the Behemoth first. And then we'll pass. Okay, seeing Bellstrike is acceptable. We'll take some damage. We can Feat of Resistance that off as well, which is convenient. And a Leaping Master. Well, may have to be willing to make a trade here. So I think we're just going to Bondkin down. And we'll see if he pays the mana for the Leaping Master. Otherwise, I think I will trade my Morph for his Master. I'm not thrilled about it. Maybe I take it instead. But we'll see if he... Oh, multiple Singing Bell Strikes. Okay. Well, not leaving me a ton of options then, I guess. Hopefully we get a land. If we don't get a land, we'll be on the Feat of Resistance plan. 3 cards left in our opponent's hand. If we can resolve this Death Frenzy at some point, that would be nice. 2 cards left in hand. No more follow-up creatures. Alright, so now we just slam Kieran and then pass. So this holds back the army fairly well. I think we're just going to take the student, but we'll block the Leaping Master if he swings with it. Alright, Sage of the Inward Eye, quite good. It's going to be difficult to deal with, but we'll figure it out. Ideally. Scavenger, I can't quite play that. If I Abzan Ascendancy, I may have to. Because then it sets me up for a, well, my Death Frenzy's not all that good right now, I guess. I can Feat of Resistance. I think we're going to have to take the Sage of the Inward Eye. I think I'm just leaving up Feat of Resistance. What that's going to do is let me potentially get one of these Singing Bell Strikes off. At this point, debating whether I just play Death Frenzy to kill my own guys. It doesn't seem great, but gains me a little bit of life. Makes my Delve guys cheaper. I do have to find a good out for that Sage of the Inward Eye. Which seems like it could be difficult. Alright. Well, we're going to block the student here. If he does have a trick, we're still okay because I can just Feat of Resistance. Okay. So he's getting a bunch of dudes. But our guy's not even dead, so I guess I don't even have to do anything really. I don't have to Feat yet, so I guess we'll take 3. So I do want to Feat of Resistance now. If I can draw a land, we're in good shape. But we're going to feat our Bondkin, I think. Just a little bit higher damage. So we'll get blue, we'll get that Singing Bell Strike off, untap, draw land, perfect. Alright, so now we get in with... So I could get in with my Bondkin and my Kirin, but, well, very curious. So if I Death Frenzy now, I kill 4 guys. I think we play this the safe way, so I'm just going to swing with my Kirin. And we're just going to get rid of his guys. See, I could set up for a nice swarm of Bloodflies. The problem with that is if he has a Trumpet Blast, we're just going to die. And I have a feeling he's a Trumpet Blast deck. He doesn't have to be, but it just seems like a good opportunity to play Death Frenzy. It only kills one of my guys, kills a million of his, gains me a bunch of life, makes my guys cheaper. I think ultimately it's worth it. If I'd swung with the Morph, I wouldn't have been able to block this student very effectively either. So just take the Sage. If I draw land, I can go Scavenger plus Abzan Ascendancy. Well, that also works pretty well, so I guess we'll get in with Kirin. And we could drop the Scavenger for double blocks. Kind of like the Boon a bit better, though. This is, of course, under the assumption he has nothing. Alright, so got rid of his big threat. We're in pretty good shape after that. No follow-up plays. Very nice. So now we have Abzan Charm, which is also good. We can play a 2-mana. Okay, so I think what we do is just swing with team here. And then we drop a Scavenger. Could get the Mandrills, I guess. Yeah, it might be better. So we're going to do Scavenger, and we are getting rid of all our Delve, but that's only because I want to leave up the Abzan Charm. We are telegraphing it pretty hard here, but I think that's okay. I could have also played the Ascendancy, but I kind of like leaving up Charm this turn. Feel like it's more effective for us. Okay, so there's our 6th land, so I think we just swing for the fences here. See what he's got. No blocks, no plays. So now I think we'll just drop a Scavenger and then pass. See if he's got a end hostilities or something along those lines. Alright, so we effectively got to the late game, and that Dragon Scale Boon has been amazing for us the entire draft. I feel like it's consistently been on our Vigilance guy, which is just bonkers. So worked out very well for us. We never even had to unmorph our Bondkin. Death Frenzy was the true MVP, which it's always nice when that card does as much as it did right there. Could do Kill Shot. Throttle seems, I guess, honestly less good. He's very aggressive, so I think the Kill Shot is actually better. I still kind of want to play the Throttle, but the Throttle's definitely less good because of prowess. Rush of Battle still seems very important. Perhaps Raider Spoils is a bit worse, but it's such a high value card that it's difficult to take out. I kind of want these Highland Games because the lifelink seems relevant, but they're actually pretty bad against the Jeskai students. They're only decent against the... Yeah, I actually don't think they're that great in this match. They're good against Leaping Masters, but they're not really good against Take Up Arms and Jeskai students, so I think we're just going to leave them in sideboard. We did bring in the kill shot. We could cut a throttle. I could cut a Raider Spoils. I'm debating it, upping our removal. It lowers our damage output. The problem with Raider Spoils in this match is I feel like it doesn't quite do enough on certain board states. Like, I feel like I don't get to use the pay one life, draw a card ability all that much when I'm playing against aggro. I feel like I just want creatures, or I would prefer to have just creatures and removal to deal with his early plays because we've got a better late game, I think. But, I mean, Raider Spoils is still pretty good. It's certainly amazing with Abzan Ascendancy, getting those tokens. That's difficult. I definitely want to bring in the kill shot. What do I cut for it? Swarm still seems very good. Throttle still seems fine, especially since it deals with his answer. I guess I am cutting Raider Spoils. It's so good with the Horde Chief and stuff. It's tough. I don't want to cut it. But like I said, I feel like I need creatures. I need creatures and removal more than I need pump effects in this deck, I think. Especially since the Rush of Battle can bring me so far back into the game. Whereas Raider Spoils is very high value, but can be bad when I'm making early trades. Alright, I think I got to run it like this. Alright, this hand's fine. Got a little bit of removal. Got some morph guys. We don't have our green mana yet, but we'll figure this out. So any land and we're in good shape. Seeker would be a bad one. Well, Bonkin is bad too, but not as bad. Alright, so once again we're coming down to we need a land off the top. I wouldn't mind if it was a forest. I'd even accept a jungle hollow. Alright, just outlasting, I'm fine with that. Hopefully he misses land drop, that would be nice. Alright, misses land drop, very good for us. Alright, Herald is an acceptable draw since it's not a land, but it is something I can start outlasting for some value potentially. Opponent found his third land. Okay, Singing Bell Strike, an effective way to deal with that. We'll take some damage here. See if we can't get a land off the top. Wouldn't mind kill-shotting that guy. Alright. Well, we can go damage prevention mode, or we can go... I think we actually go Sidisi's pet mode here. What that does is, it gives me a blocker for that 3-2 next turn, or I can leave up kill shot if I need to use it. So it does make us take an extra 3 damage, which is not great, but it gives me more versatility next turn with being able to block plus. So it allows us to gain some life, surprise style, and potentially kill shot if need be. Alright, missing land drop still, which is a problem, but gonna have to accept it. Opponent has not found their red source yet, so we block the Bonkin and flip the Sidisi's pet, make him play possibly a pump spell. So potential lifelink here, unless he's got a trick of some sort. Alright, very good. So we get to only net loss of 1 life. We could miss a land drop and still kill shot. He doesn't have a follow-up play. We found our green source. That worked out very nicely for us. So now I'm thinking we swing with Sidisi's Pet and I leave up Dragon Scale Boon. Or I could just swing with Sidisi's Pet, Dragon Scale Boon, but that doesn't play well into... I think we just Kieran and pass. We're just going on lockdown mode right now. We've got a very high value hand, so as long as I can survive, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. He could force away. Yeah, that's okay. He didn't get the full value on that. He's just trying to slow us down at this point. We still get to block a Bondkin if he wants. Yep. Take some flying damage. Just sticking to the play here. All right. So now I guess we're a little more inclined to want to kill shot his 4/3. But I think we're just going to Dragon Scale Boon instead. So I'll leave this back. We'll pass. I do have to discard, which is not great, but we'll figure out. I guess we'll ditch the Swarm. I do like the Swarm of Bloodflies, but it seems a bit slow for this board state. So I'm hoping that I can pet stop his Bondkin, but we're in some trouble if I can't, I admit. We're going to have to go for the 2-for-1 play. It's a little bit too good of an opportunity to pass up here. So I actually should have attacked with the pet, which would have allowed us to do better things against this. So it's pretty brutal. We're taking a lot of damage. We're likely going to lose now, but I still think this was the correct line, hoping he did not have the Trumpet Blast. So definitely it did not work out well for us, but these things happen. You have to accept them. So we'll take some more damage, kill shot the Bondkin, find some way ideally to deal with the Wind Scout. I guess we're just a mana away from being able to Death Frenzy it, so try and kill shot. Hopefully he does not have feet. Alright. So take more damage, which is not great, but can't do anything about it. Hopefully it's just alright. So now we just need a land and we can Death Frenzy. Well, didn't get the land. So options. I can't really do anything that I want here, unfortunately. I can't Scavenger. I can't Scavenger and still leave up Abzan Charm. I still think Scavenger's the best play. I don't know why it would be though. Kieran is probably the best play. But if he has something to pump this with, I want to be able to deal 3 damage to it. I guess I'm not getting offensive anytime soon, so let's just play this and get a couple dudes down and then pass. So very, very close to death, but we have to accept that. Warden of the Eye, let's see what he brings back. Bring back Trumpet Blast. Okay, so basically just need a land and we're in good shape. Alright, so guess we just Death Frenzy and pass, but the problem with that is, well, what is the problem with that? I guess there's no real problems with that. We're going to lose our Herald, but we're going to gain 3 life. Bring us to 7, which means we don't die to Trumpet Blast. So, alright, I guess we Death Frenzy. This buys us the most time. The reason I didn't swing with the Scavenger is because I want to block the Warden of the Eye with it. So, we still are even on cards, which is worrisome, but him bringing back a Trumpet Blast is not that awful for us. We're certainly going to trade if he wants, yeah. So we'll make the trade. Can't really afford to take damage here. We can stop a Sage of the Inward Eye if that's his play. Okay, Seeker, a little bit of a problem, but Morph. All right, well, now I'm pretty worried, but we're going to have to just do what we can here. So we have 6. We can go Horde Chief plus Morphed Bondkin. We can go Horde Chief plus Abzan Charm. I think I like that slightly more. All right, so we'll do Horde Chief. We're going to pretend this is a weaponsmith because I feel like it likely is. So I think the plan is block the Seeker, and if he flips a weaponsmith, it's not that bad for us. If he just attacks with a weaponsmith, I can block, and I can actually double pump my dude to stop the morph. So it looks like he's not swinging at all. Geez, well, that's a highly developed board. I'm going to have a hard time stopping that. Let's see if we can't get a land here. Well, it does help. All right, so I guess we drop Kieran and pass. So now we have Abzan Charm up, which ideally does some work for us, but that Trumpet Blast is a bit too problematic to beat, I think, unfortunately, but we'll see. See if he does in fact have the Trumpet Blast and a Sage of the Inward Eye. Well, I think I am going to Abzan Charm that, because if I don't, it's just too many creatures. So, well, that's not bad. It is not bad. Guess we swing with Kieran. I don't remember if I could have done that last turn and didn't. I did forget, but let's drop a Kieran and let's drop a Morph here. I'm not leaving up the... So Trumpet Blast at this point is pretty good, but not the end-all be-all. So if he swings team, we'll figure this out. I think leaving the Morph back, that's interesting. All right, I think we do... Kieran, and we'll double block the Seeker, I think. So that way if it's, well, let's see, he Trumpet Blasts, or he unmorphs this, and he Trumpet Blasts, and this becomes 5 power. He unmorphs this, this becomes 5 power. Well, I think this might be the best I've got. Trumpet Blast still only kills one of our guys. I think I'm going to do it. It's a bit dangerous. Okay. Well, this isn't the worst, but he does have the Trumpet Blast in hand, so I guess it's pretty close to the worst. I think I'm going to be taking too much damage to survive, unfortunately. Too many dudes to deal with, which is unfortunate, but these things do happen. So let's see here. I throttle the Morph, block, take. Well, I guess he's just short of lethal with Trumpet Blast, so let's throttle the Morph now. That way, if it's a weaponsmith, well, it wasn't, but I'm still going to do it. So we're in some trouble. I guess we do die if he has land, because he can go Flight plus Trumpet Blast. If he doesn't have land, we're not quite dead yet, but we're definitely close. This is going to be a tough one to win. Well, he's got Set Adrift. All right. So now he has Trumpet Blast for lethal. So tough match. Very tough match. Opponent did very well there. This is a difficult one to beat. It's going to be a difficult match, definitely. Opponent has a very good deck. So we lose to Trumpet Blast. I have to come up with some good solutions to beat this guy. I feel like our deck is fairly well equipped to do so, but we did miss some land drops there, which I think hurt us quite a bit. So what can I do? Archer's Parapet blocks well, but does not deal with the evasion of the Wind Scout. I'm not sure if I want that. I still think I'd rather have the removal. Could be our morph guys aren't that good, so maybe Parapet's better than, like, I don't know. I feel like I need to make trades, though. I can't really afford to have a Parapet. He just builds up a big army and beats me that way. So it's tough. It's very tough to say, because he also has Force Away, which makes some of our tricks slightly worse. This is a difficult match, definitely. I do have to come up with some good solutions here. Dreadmaw might be something that we're looking for life gain. Is it? Maybe it's too slow. Doesn't let me strike him back, but gaining life is beneficial. I'm not sure, though, if that's what I want. I feel like we beat him if we hit our lands. It's kind of self-explanatory, I guess, but yeah, I don't really like bringing in the defenders when we're trying to do some work with Rush of Battle. I think I'm keeping it the same. I could cut the Swarm of Bloodflies, but he's got all those tokens that I really want to die. But maybe it's just a bit too greedy. I think I'm going to leave it the same. It worked for us last time, or game one rather. So as long as we draw lands, I think we're okay. All right, well, step one, unfortunately, was not accomplished, so we do have to mulligan. This hand is still dangerous, but I imagine we keep because I don't really like the idea of going to 5. So our opponent is keeping at 7, which is also unfortunate for us, but I do have to accept. This is a pretty awful keep that we have. I don't feel confident with it in any way, shape, or form, but if we can rip some lands, then potentially it could pan out for us. All right, well, no turn 2 play is also good, and finding our correct land is also very good. So some things are coming together reasonably well for this. If it's just a morph, then it's not that bad. Yeah, we've got the Kieran follow-up. Okay. Well, this hand's not panning out that horribly for us, honestly. All right, just tempoing us down. You know, it's not even that good of a force away, really. In fact, I would argue it was a pretty bad force away. It does kind of eat up our next turn into Kieran, but he's not progressing his board, and I'm in no rush to do anything else, so it seems fine at the moment. I guess it does give him the opportunity to play a land and then attack into my Kieran, so that's something I'm going to have to be conscious of, but I can't... Oh, all right. Well, Horde Ambusher is not a super dangerous one, although he did reveal an Arrow Storm to me, so now I have to be conscious of that. I'm trying to think what our next turn play is. I'm not exactly sure yet. I have to come up with a good answer for that. I guess it depends on what he does. Is he going to... All right. That's interesting. Not that bad for us, honestly. All right, let's... we can Bondkin or we can Sidisi's Pet. Kind of like the Sidisi's Pet play because I could morph it, but I'm actually going to hard cast it because it keeps back the Ambusher and sets me up for a nice Dragon Scale boon for some reasonable value. And that guy can't block, right? Oh, he can block, it just deals damage to him. All right, well, to me that's just as good. So I guess we will get in with our pet for a little bit of life gain here. And then we'll follow up with a Bondkin plus Heir of the Wilds. This way I can unmorph my Heir of the Wilds and or unmorph my Bondkin and pump my Heir of the Wilds, and then we actually get pretty swingy. because I can race an ambusher here with my board state much better than I think he can race me. No plays, very interesting. All right, so we scoured barons. I think we move towards, it's unmorphed now. And we'll swing, or try to, see what he does. All right, so he could have the take up arms play, which would be pretty good, but we're dishing out quite a bit of damage, so take up arms is not the worst against us here. All right, Smite the Monstrous is pretty good, but we're still about even on the damage front. And we're lifelinking, which is going to be good alongside this Dragon Scale boon at some point. And just more force-aways for, honestly, not much value at all, so not much concern on that front. We're still gaining life as well, so not in any real immediate danger here. We're currently on a pretty even playing field. He's dealing 2 to us, but because we're gaining 1 back and taking 1 from him, we're doing similar life swings. So I think now we just swing with the Sidisi's Pet, get in for that, and then we drop Heir of the Wilds, and we're going to Dragon Scale Boon and block the Horde Ambusher for ideally a pretty good blowout play here if everything pans out for us the way we want it to. Alright, Set Adrift is acceptable. This is going to be a pretty enormous blowout. Alright, so especially since he's burned all of his force-aways, this is pretty ideal for us, yeah. So now I would say we are pretty dramatically far ahead. And we have 7 mana, so I think pre-combat, in case he's got a kill shot, I want to punish that play. And we'll play this, and we'll get in for our 3 lifelinking. Gaining life, we have a nice 3/6 lifelinker here. If he kill shots it, like I say, our swarm gets bigger, so it's not even that great for him. We've got attacks for days, we have good lifelink. Student doesn't do anything. No pumps on our Heir of the Wilds, but we're still kicking it freestyle. So looking pretty good. Looking quite good here. Opponent's got to get a Warden of the Eye and get a force away to get that Sidisi's Pet down. Alright, Sage of the Inward Eye is reasonably good, but we're still not in any real immediate danger. So I think I can actually... yeah, you know, I guess I could just, okay. My thought was that I can just, I kind of want to get rid of the Sage, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I think we actually just swing with these 2. Because I think he's very motivated to block that Sidisi's Pet. He's not blocking it, alright. Well, I think we do Horde Chief then. This gets me more bodies. And the lifelink is getting less relevant. We're at a pretty healthy life total at this point. The Swarm of Bloodflies, he needs to avoid that getting huge. He does have the mana to unmorph, which could be problematic, but okay. So I guess that we swing with Pet and Heir of the Wilds. Ideally, our Swarm of Bloodflies gets bigger, so Death Frenzy does not become a thing. Alright, so Swarm is out of range now. Did kill a Mystic of the Hidden Way. He's at 1 life. Guess we just follow up with a Kieran and then pass. And I think we should be able to get him the next turn. All right, looks like we got there. Pretty satisfied with this draft victory. Sidisi's Pet plus Dragon Scale Boon was probably MVP of the entire draft. It played synergistically really well with our deck, both being amazing with Alabaster Kieran and Sidisi's Pet. So, very satisfying draft win. I'm glad Death Frenzy did some dividends for us in the finals. I think our opponent played the Force Aways just a bit too aggressively, in my opinion, and we were able to just outvalue him in the end. So, very fun, very good draft. We'll see you for the next one.